Okay, good morning, boys and girls. This is the final one of our videos that we are filming today. So if you've watched all of them so far, you're near the end now, and I will leave you alone soon. This is the video where we're going to talk about general cash flow tips and as what we're advising to people as of today. Where if you've accessed the grants, you've accessed the loans, these are the kind of final tools to give you a kind of robust cash flow picture for the next few months. So there's some simple things that we need to be doing. We need to be chasing our debts because the first point of why you may not have as much money in your bank account as you want is because it's sat in your customers' bank accounts. Now, obviously, they are, if you're business to business, they are going to be businesses that have got just as big a cash flow issues as you. So if you are chasing debts, you need to have a level of empathy that you may not normally have. But the point remains, you need to ask for your money, because if you don't ask, you won't get. So make sure you've billed everything, right? The amount of businesses we see that have done a load of work and then it takes them 2 weeks to send the invoice out. That's dangerous, very dangerous in the normal scheme of things. Today, in the climate we're in now, that is nearly suicidal, I would say. So make sure you've billed for everything you've done. Chase the debts when they're due, but do it in a kindly way. So that's step one. Step two, speak to your bank. If you've got an overdraft, speak to your bank about whether they would extend it for you. It all goes back to how your business performance has been, but you may want to find. I had a client that spoke to their bank on Monday and got a £15,000 overdraft from nothing, just like that. Almost no questions asked. I mean, that's amazing, but it's a smaller business than you may think. And again, you don't ask, you don't get. So that's job one. See if your bank will do anything to help you out. Now, if you've got other sources of finance and cash flow is getting tight, then the next step is to ask those finance providers for payment holidays. So the government announced yesterday that they're putting in place mortgage holidays for individuals. So if you've got a mortgage, you need to speak to your mortgage company and they will potentially put in a 3-month mortgage holiday. You need to make sure, if it were me, I would be asking the question to make sure it doesn't affect your credit rating. It shouldn't, because the government have now kind of mandated it. But we've had clients that were ringing on sort of Friday last week, Monday this week, before this was announced, and they were being told they can have the holiday, but it's going to shred their credit rating. So make sure you are comfortable that it's not affecting your credit rating. So that's mortgages, but you can also do that if you've got a business loan or you've got vehicle leasing, all that kind of stuff. Speak to the lenders. They are at the moment being very happy, it seems. The general feeling is they are happy to give you 3 months payment holidays. That doesn't mean you don't have to pay it back, as it will just get added onto the end of the loan and the interest will still run, but it will free up cash flow to kind of help you pay your staff, pay your rent, keep the wheels turning. And that's kind of what this first 12 weeks are going to be all about, is just making sure your business is there at the end of the 12 weeks to then put the plan in place and how you recover and grow. So make sure you are speaking to your bank. Make sure you're speaking to any other finance providers you've got. Next step is, do you owe any money to HMRC? So the bank of HMRC is going to be everyone's best friend at this point. So if you've got a VAT bill coming up, so you've got a February VAT quarter end, so your VAT's due 7th of April, don't pay that VAT. Ring HMRC up and tell them that the virus is kind of causing havoc in your business. They will, I can't guarantee it, but everyone I've spoken to that has spoken to HMRC this week have been given a 2-month deferment on that VAT. With a view that they will then be able to put a time to pay in of maybe 12 months after that, once those 2 months are up. So if you've got a February VAT return, don't expect to pay it on the 7th of April. Ring HMRC and ask for a time to pay agreement. If you've got a March VAT return quarter end, then obviously we'll have that conversation in May, but it's the same process, right? We need to lean on HMRC. Their interest rates will be cheaper than your bank's overdraft. They've been told they've got 2,000 people. The biggest issue you're going to have is waiting on hold. But once you get through, they will give you a time to pay agreement and they'll defer it for 2 months. And that gives us that breathing room to get us past those 12 weeks to when hopefully the economy is starting to move again. If you've got PAYE or corporation tax that's due, again, same number, ring that HMRC. Make sure you ring the normal, you don't ring the normal time to pay team, ring the coronavirus time to pay team, because I suspect they've got all the work experience on that line and they are just saying yes to everything. So any tax bills you've got to pay, unless obviously you're comfortable that the cash flow is there, but I don't imagine you're watching these videos if that's where you are. So if cash is tight, lean on the bank of HMRC. I suspect, we're here now, Friday the 20th. I suspect next week, one of the measures they will take is to do something with VAT. And I think we're all going to be filing VAT returns but not paying VAT over very soon. I think that's the next announcement with that. And then what else have we got to talk about with cash flow? The other thing, so the biggest cash flow for everybody, the biggest expense is pretty much going to be wages, right? So you need to look after your people because you need them to come back when your business is back on its feet. You're going to need these people to come back. But you need to check what you've got in your employment contracts, where you sit with sick pay, where you sit with whether you can lay them off. So not make them redundant, just, there's no work, so we need to just find a way of kind of trickling cash to them. Speak to them about their personal cash flow and whether they can take mortgage holidays. Speak to your HR advisor. Hopefully you have all got a HR consultant on hand that helps you out. If not, then pick up the phone. We'll introduce you to one that's fantastic, that will be able to help you through this process. And it's kind of, you've got to treat your staff the right way, but you also need to make sure there's no point paying them this month in full and next month in full if then you go pop in June and they're still out of work, they're in the same position in August. So we need to make sure we manage our cash flow and help these people out. So that's my kind of cash flow top tips. I've seen this video is now ticked over 7 minutes, which is much too long. If any of this is resonating, any of this you feel is a pinch point for you in your business, then just give us a call and we will help you put this plan in place to get your business through the next few months. Okay, guys, that's enough for now. We'll see you tomorrow.